and probably 2 days, 3 days, then we slide right on down. And excuse me, what I think we miss is the racism in the North. And Martin Luther King spoke of this, that when he came, that when the Civil Rights Movement moved up to places like Detroit, where I'm from, Michigan, probably even Illinois and Chicago here, is that it became more challenging. And so what I'm trying to do, it's set in 1952, it's a rural setting, and it's what happens is that a black family is introduced to a very white, rural, homogeneous community. It has a very fundamentalist church. And this black family is going to split the community in two, is going to tear the church in two. So I want to deal that and talk with that. And of course, there's heroes and there's goats in the story. And the aspect, I'm trying to write it from a child's point of view, certain like Huckleberry Finn does, and more importantly, Harper Lee in To Kill a Mockingbird. And that's going to be the tough part to pull off.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We're nearly out of time, and I thought a really nice way of ending is to have you read, maybe for a minute, from Maggie's Farm, maybe a favorite piece that you have, and then Joyce, we can just kind of fade out as Larry's reading. So why don't you take away? Thanks so much for being my guest.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a privilege to be here. This comes from chapter 7 in the story. It's in October of '67. He comes back home, and this is his first time back home. It was dusk with an October moon rising that would eventually cast its light on the farm and the surrounding fields. The full moon complemented the warm evening. Later coolness would race onto the farm to mingle with the sounds and smells of ruminating cattle and resting people. Bob had returned home for the weekend and now walked down the lane from the barn to the woodlot. There, generations of Holsteins spent their time between milkings and where he had played among the trees and the abandoned farm machinery. Sometimes he played alone, sometimes with friends, but it was always without adults. The cattle kept the ground mowed as oaks, maples, and sycamores provide a covering for a Tom Sawyer world where pirates and knights roamed. Wagon trains moved westward through Indian territory, and World War II was continually fought.